Today we will learn chapter number 6, Justice to One and All. Words of Wisdom. In the garden of life, each flower is unique and important in itself. No flower is superior than the other. This talks about the equality of everyone on this planet Earth. No one is superior, no one is inferior. Everyone is equal. This story is an excerpt from the stories of Akbar and Birbal. In this chapter, it has been explained about how the humanity and the equality are the two sides of the same coin. Now let us read this story. So, starting with King Akbar was a great emperor of India. He was famous for his wisdom and justice. Birbal was one of the most trusted and wise men of his court. One day Akbar and Birbal were going around the city. The weather was very cold and King Akbar was shivering despite his warm clothing. On their way back they come across a pond. When Akbar saw the pond, he remarked, "It is so cold, I am sure that nobody would be willing to spend the night in the water of this pond." Birbal, who was famous for his wisdom, said, "My lord, there are many poor people in our country. Anyone would be willing to take the risk for a small amount of money." Hearing this, Akbar said, I will give 100 gold coins to the person who is able to perform this feat." So here it has been talked about the cold weather where King Akbar and Birbal were walking around a river. The river water was very cold and Akbar asked Birbal that no one could take a challenge to stand the whole night in this cold river in this cold weather. But yet Birbal said that there are so many needy people who can do this task very easily for money. So the next day it was announced that King Akbar was willing to give 100 gold coins to a person who was willing to spend the entire night in the pond of the cold water. But if he was unsuccessful, he would be given 100 lashes and thrown out of the city. Hence, a poor old man heard this. He had not eaten for many days. The prospect of earning so much money merely by standing in the water was very tempting for him. He offered himself for the task. On the following night, which happened to be colder than the previous one, he went to stand waist deep in the water. There were many guards watching him. Akbar was sure that the man would either be dead by the morning or will run away in the middle of the night. So here in these two paragraphs, it has been talked about that how the next day it was announced that King Akbar would give or would reward 100 gold coins to the person who would spend the night in that cold river. Then came a old and a poor man who was in a need of money, who has not eaten for many days, and he told about that he would perform that task and in return he should be gifted with the gold coins. However, King Akbar also said if the old man failed in his task, he would be given 100 lashes and he would be thrown out of the town. So he stood up in the river that night and many soldiers were watching him so that he could not cheat. Akbar was very sure that the man would either be dead or would run away in the middle of the night. Early next morning, he was very surprised to see the man demanding his money. The king asked the guards whether he had cheated in any way. The guards were sure that the man kept standing in the cold water the entire night. Akbar did not want Birbal to be right. He asked the old man, "Tell me, didn't you feel cold in the water?" The simple man said, "My lord, I was feeling numb with cold when I happened to see a lighted lamp on the window of a nearby hut. I imagined myself to be near that lamp. This way I managed to spend the whole night." "I knew it," the emperor exclaimed. "You cheat, you took the help of a lamp. You will get 100 lashes and you will be thrown out of the city." The guards immediately seized the man and he was thrown in the prison. When Birbal heard the entire episode, he did not like the behavior of king. He wanted to convey that all men were equal. The king had no right to fool the old man. Next day, Birbal did not go to the court. Now Akbar was very fond of Birbal's wit. He sent a messenger asking Birbal to come immediately. After 3 messages, Birbal was still missing. The king then decided to go himself and see what Birbal was up to. When Emperor Akbar reached Birbal's house, he saw that Birbal was sitting in the garden. A fire was burning and a pot was hung high up above the fire. Birbal, what are you doing? Asked Akbar. My lord, I am making some porridge for myself. Birbal answered. Hearing this, the king started laughing. In short, next day, king encountered the old man who was demanding for the 100 gold coins because he was successful in his work. The king even asked the guards that whether he was cheating or not, but the guards replied that he has not cheated in any of the ways. So now the king did not want Birbal to be right because his ego was hurted. So he asked the old man that what was that thing which motivated the old man to stand for the whole night. So old man said that he was feeling very numb, but still there was far away a small hut where a lamp was lighting, and he thought himself to be near to that lamp. In that way he survived for the whole night. But Akbar mistook it and said that he cheated on the given task by taking the help of the lamp to keep himself warm, and as a result he was punished with the 100 lashes and was thrown in the prison. Then when Birbal came to know this, he was not happy with king's behavior, so he did not come next day. King called him 3 times, but yet he did not come. Then king went himself to see what was Birbal up to. There he saw that Birbal was cooking porridge for himself, but the pot in which he was cooking porridge was hung high above the tree, and the fire was burning way down on the ground. After hearing this and seeing this, the king started laughing. Birbal, you are a fool. You have hung the pot so high up. Do you think you will be successful in cooking the porridge? Humbly the wise Birbal answered, My lord, if an old man can get warmth from a lamp far away, my porridge will also get cooked. Akbar immediately realized his mistake. Just because the old man was simple and poor, the king was trying to fool him. The man was immediately summoned and rewarded. Through his wisdom, Birbal was able to convey to the king that all men are equal and we should treat everybody with respect and understanding. We are all God's children. No person is superior than the other. Our behavior towards everybody should be full of understanding and care. This is how God wants us to be. So here what happened was that Birbal has given the answer why he was cooking porridge at so high on the tree. He said to the king that if a man could keep himself warm from a lamp that was so far from him, then why could not this porridge be cooked on the tree when the fire is so far? The king immediately realized his mistake because he now realized that this much far and this much distance of the lamp could not keep the man warm. After that, he summoned the man and he rewarded him with 100 gold coins. So here in the conclusion, we come to know that everyone is equal, we all are God's children, and we should always treat everyone with the equal respect. No one is superior and no one is inferior.